Similar to most people, I spent an entire lifetime in the workforce with the number one goal of earning enough money to maximize my expected wealth and happiness over my entire lifetime. After working in large organizations for over 30 years, in this video, I will share some of the pitfalls that make people in the middle class financially stuck. Pitfalls that drain financial motivation, and pitfalls that will certainly end up postponing your goals or even preventing you from achieving your lifetime expected wealth. After discussing these pitfalls today, you can definitely seek to avoid them in the future. Okay, let's dive into 5 common middle class pitfalls that can hinder financial progress. I will provide examples for each to illustrate their potential impact. Number 1, lack of budgeting. Many middle class individuals fail to create and adhere to a budget, which can lead to financial stagnation. Without a budget, it is challenging to track income, expenses, and saving goals effectively. Here are some examples of how this pitfall can impact someone's finances. Let's use a client by the name of Mike, for example. Mike is a middle-class professional with a steady income. I repeat, a steady income, but no budget. He overspends on dining out, entertainment, and shopping without even realizing it. In financial terms, he is exhibiting a negative saving trait, referred to as struggler savings trait. As a result, he struggles to save for his children's education, and he also, more importantly, struggles to save for his own retirement. In this situation, Mike would really benefit from saving for smaller, short-term goals, like an emergency fund that would cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. Just one moment before we continue. If you receive any value from this video, please consider subscribing to Retirement Lifestyle TV. We have a small subscribership, but we're growing. Please consider sharing or just commenting. I would love to hear from you. Number 2, avoiding investment. Many people just like to avoid investing their money. We are all risk adverse and hate losing money more than we love taking profits. Think about that for a moment. Another common pitfall is avoiding investments due to fear or lack of knowledge. This can limit wealth building opportunities in the long run. Let's look at an example. In this example, we'll use John. John is a middle class worker, keeps all of his savings and all of his money in a standard saving account. He believes it's safer over time if he just keeps it in the bank. What happens with John's saving over time? As you all know, inflation will erode the purchasing power of John's money. The value of $1 tomorrow will be much less than what it is today. John, by avoiding investments like stocks and bonds, he will miss out on a lot of potential gain and compound interest where he would have otherwise made more money by putting his money in the equity market. The advantage for John here is that there's relatively high opportunity for growth in the equity market, possibility of income from dividends, and also growth that would generally outpace inflation in the long run. And there's a wide variety of stocks that are available to be invested in. Slight disadvantages. There's no guaranteed expected positive return in the long run. And also, there is market risk. The third one, this needs no introduction. Not this pitfall. The third one is accumulating credit card debt. Relying heavily on credit cards can lead to a high interest rate debt that can be financially crippling. Here's an example. Let's use Emily. Emily is a middle-class individual who frequently uses her credit cards for everyday expenses. And she does not practice paying off her balance at the end of the month. Instead, she pays only the minimum balance and interest compounds. Eventually, she finds herself trapped in a cycle of debt, making it challenging to save or invest for the future. Of course, eliminating or minimizing personal debt is important, particularly credit card debt, which usually has the highest interest rate. Some of the steps are: list all your debt, show the interest rate for each, prioritize them in order of payment, consider paying the debt with the smallest balance first, then focus on the debt with the highest interest rate. Pay more than the minimum payment. Divert money previously used for paying off debt to savings and other investments. Number 4, living beyond your means. Trying to maintain a lifestyle that surpasses one's income is a common pitfall for a middle-class household. This pitfall can result in financial stress, the lack of saving. An example can illustrate this. For example, let's take Dave and Lisa, a middle-class couple, frequently dine out at expensive restaurants, leases luxury vehicles, takes lavish vacations on credit. They are unable to cover their monthly expenses, leading to credit card debt and an inability to save for their children's education and, more importantly, their retirement. There is a general rule that David and Lisa can apply to this particular situation. It's called the 50-30-20 rule. Based on your salary, 50% goes towards your expenses, which is your needs. 30% goes towards your wants, which is your desires. And also that 20% goes towards your retirement savings. Number 5, neglecting financial education. Many middle-class individuals do not invest enough time in learning about personal finance. The lack of knowledge can result in many missed opportunities and financial insecurity. An example will demonstrate this impact. Let's just say Mary. Mary is a middle-class worker, never takes the time to learn about investing or retirement planning. As a result, she misses out on opportunities to grow her wealth over time and is uncertain about how much money she needs to save for a comfortable retirement. Given that Mary had some basic financial education or proper awareness, she can start to calculate how much money is she spending today. She can estimate her retirement income, how much she would need in retirement per year, things like pension, Social Security, or other investments. She could also think about her fixed expenses like mortgage or rent, property tax, or insurance premium. Some other variable expenses in retirement is obviously food, utility, clothing, and also transportation. These are some expenses that will not just go away in retirement. We covered quite a bit today with these 5 pitfalls centered around discipline, saving, avoiding investments. Let's talk about investment a little more. Investing is more like a discipline. Saving, very similar. But investing for the long term in the equity market beats inflation. And we've learned that it's better than just a saving account at a large bank. Investing a set amount of money at regular intervals over a long period of time is very helpful. Generally, use more volatile investments such as stocks and mutual funds as opposed to like bonds or CDs. In closing, I'll leave with several investment strategies. Investors can gain an advantage from the rise and fall in investment stocks over a period of time by buying more when the price is low and buying less when the price is high. Another technique is called dollar cost averaging. By using this technique, you're essentially lowering the average cost per share of the investment over time. Because perhaps every time you get paid biweekly or monthly, you routinely buy a set amount of that stock over a period of time. And that is what is known as dollar cost averaging. As always, if you receive any value from this information, please consider subscribing, sharing, or commenting.